do if you are super triggered and you try to do something to manage it and it doesn't work? Let's say you try to distract from it, or you use a coping skill that sometimes works for you, or you just try to kind of will and power your way out of it, but it doesn't work. The urge is still there, just as strong. What do you do at that point? That's a really tough place for a lot of people to be in, especially in the beginning. And I feel like a lot of clients that I work with when they're first starting use that kind of as an excuse to act if they tried something but it didn't work or it didn't lower their urge. So let's say they tried a 4x4 breathing exercise, which has worked in the past for them, but it didn't work, and they're like, oh, well, I tried, so what more can I do? And they kind of give up or use that as a justification to engage in the behavior. Well, if that is our mindset, then we're really never going to get very far, and we're never going to get fully in recovery. So we have to challenge that a bit, and there are a few things that we can do to help that. One thing is to have a plan ahead of time, which is why the other video on the relapse prevention plans is so important, because you have to have your coping skills ready and the plan for what you're going to do ahead of time. Because if you're triggered, then you're in a really emotional state and you're not thinking logically and you're not thinking rationally. So it's harder to work through kind of that logical thinking that maybe would help you and would work in a different circumstance and you're able to do. But if you're really triggered, you're not going to be able to do that very well. So you have to have a plan ahead of time. Another worksheet that I find is really helpful, and I have a lot of my clients do, is an urge tracking sheet. So this is really simple, and it can work for so many different types of behaviors and urges. I do it with, porn addiction clients. I do it with sex addiction clients. I do it with some people who have developed a fetish which has gotten out of control or has gotten to the point that it's a problem and they want to change it. So it can really work for a lot of different things. But it basically maps out structure for you so you don't have to think rationally through this, and you can kind of be prompted in what to try and see if it's working or not. So if you want a copy of this, just reach out to us and we're happy to send you a copy of this as well. But basically what it has is you list the urge. So what kind of urge are you having? If it's viewing porn, maybe a certain type of porn, just make note of what the urge is. Then rate the intensity. Just simple 1 through 10 scale, 10 being the highest. So if it's really intense, the number is going to be higher. So rate the intensity of the urge you're having in that moment. Then list if you tried a coping skill or not, and if you did, what did you try? So this is where you could mark 4x4 breathing. Maybe you try one of the skills that we have on our YouTube site and test that out. Maybe you went for a run. Maybe you called a friend. Whatever it is, write that down. I tried this. Then after that, write the intensity after you tried the skill. So maybe the intensity went down just a little bit. Maybe it went down by 1 point. So mark, okay, it was an 8, but now it's a 7. Or maybe it went down a lot and you're feeling pretty good and you're feeling like you can manage. Mark that. Maybe it went up. Maybe it didn't help at all. Maybe it's the same. It doesn't matter. Just write down what the intensity is after the urge. So this is also kind of helping us to be really mindful about what's going on and if things are working or not and where we're at. So if the urge didn't go down significantly, then it will say, do I need to try another skill? So look after that, look and see, okay, am I okay? Did it go down, or do I need to try something else? And this is the key part here, because sometimes we're going to have to keep trying skills over and over again, or we're going to have to try a different skill, or we're going to have to try something for a longer period of time. But if it did not go down, then that's where you need to do something else. So if you say, okay, yeah, the urge didn't go down and I'm still not feeling okay, then I need to try something else. Then you start again. What are you going to try this time? So sometimes it will go down slowly, and you just keep trying until it goes down slowly. And sometimes it will take a couple different types of skills. Maybe you need to work something out physically. Maybe you need to go for a run. Maybe you need to do push-ups. Maybe you need to work through a worksheet and write it out or get some emotion out. But the idea is that this isn't an easy thing to fix, and it's often not just a simple, quick, one-time thing, as much as we would want it to be. But you gotta keep trying and keep working, and use the worksheet to kind of structure that, so you're like, okay, yeah, it went down a little bit, but I really should do something else until I get this a little lower, because this is a risky area for me. This is a risky zone and intensity for me to be at. So I need to keep working through this until I feel better and until I'm more in control. So use that and try that and see how it works for you. And looking back on this, if you look back on your worksheets too, you can also get an idea of maybe what your most common triggers are, maybe what's coming up for you a lot. Maybe it can give you some data on, when you're triggered most, or, we can really get a lot of information about this that can help us in figuring out how to intervene and how to better kind of prep you so eventually the urges don't come up as much and you're better able to manage them. So try it out, see what you think, either kind of use these steps and make your own little tracking sheet, or reach out to us and we'll be happy to send you a copy of ours as well. And let me know. Try it out, see what you think, let me know how it goes, and just keep trying, just keep working. If something doesn't work, keep trying. Doesn't matter how many times you fail in recovery, you have to keep trying, because that's really what matters. So good luck, I hope it goes well, and I hope this helps.